What's up everybody, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this Vivo X Note and Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see that a lot of people are making fake camera comparison videos and getting a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments. Don't you understand which one is fake and which one is true? I always provide honest content, true content. Anyway, I'm not ranting, I'm not gonna waste any more time. If you end up liking this video, then please don't forget to click on the like button. And if you find this video helpful, then please subscribe to this channel, support true content. What's up everybody, welcome to another camera comparison video. Today I have this Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and Vivo X Note. A lot of people have requested for this video, so the video is here. Yeah, I am also preparing another video of Vivo X Fold. So if you're interested in camera comparison videos, if you're interested in smartphone review and comparison videos, then don't forget to click on the subscription button. On YouTube, subscription is for free, so subscribe to this channel and support true content. I always provide my subscribers and regular viewers with honest review and true content, so I wish you will support the channel. Well, you check carefully which smartphone has rendered my skin tone correctly, which smartphone has rendered colors correctly, which smartphone has better dynamic range, better stabilization, and which smartphone microphone is working better. Well, let me run for a while and check the stabilization. By the way, I need to mention this is 4K on Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I really like the selfie camera of this Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Well, it's time to run and check stabilization. It's very hot. I thought it's cold outside, but actually summer is approaching. It's 27 degrees Celsius outside, but in the morning when I came out it was like 18 degrees Celsius, so I wore a lot. Anyway, I think dynamic range, it's very difficult to say now. You check carefully and make a comment in the comment section below. Which smartphone selfie camera has actually performed better, and which smartphone selfie camera do you prefer? Let's flip to the rear cameras and start our camera comparison between this Vivo X Note and Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. But one more time, if you end up liking this video, then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel. Before we check portrait photos, let us check photos of human subject. Let us understand the color curve and skin tone of these two smartphones. This time me and Lena, we have decided to take photos in some very harsh lighting condition with messy background cause we wanted to see the real differences. Natural versus eye-pleasing, that's the difference. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has kept everything natural. Didn't add any type of beautification, didn't increase highlights, didn't blow the shadow. Vivo X Note has done the opposite. Whether it can or not, it has tried to reproduce eye-pleasing photos. But I'm surprised to see Vivo has managed to grab and process a lot of detail. Textures are not too soft, neither too sharp. Skin tone looks a bit fair. There is some beauty effect, colors are slightly saturated, but highlights, contrast and exposure is almost correct. I have no problem to say Vivo has done a great job. If you are looking for social media ready, eye-catching photos with vivid and vibrant colors, then you should go with Vivo. However, I prefer natural photos. Even if S22 Ultra has a bit of a warm tone, everything else is true to life. Better shadow, sharper textures, perfect skin tone with enormous detail on the subject, but a bit too contrasty and below par exposure. A lot of things can be edited, but you cannot add detail. Sometimes it is very hard to edit and adjust texture's sharpness. So I think Samsung S22 Ultra has done well, but Vivo X Note has actually done much better. If you check carefully, then you will notice X Note has also grabbed a lot of detail, skin tone is not very far from reality, altogether the photos are almost flawless. Yeah, most of the models here, Anna, Jennifer, Samara, Lena, all the models have started to like X Note for human subject photography because it makes them look beautiful. If you haven't noticed yet, then most of the time when there is a human subject in the frame of S22 Ultra, S22 Ultra has gone with a bit of a warm tone. This is an interesting segment. If you are still thinking about why didn't I add Xiaomi 12 Pro into this comparison, then Xiaomi 12 Pro actually fails heavily in portrait mode. Beside these two monsters, Xiaomi 12 Pro portraits are as poor as a budget smartphone. Anyway, both of these two smartphones have dedicated telephoto lens for portrait photography. Vivo X Note got a 2x telephoto lens with Sony IMX663 sensor, and S22 Ultra got a 3x telephoto lens with a Sony IMX754 sensor. We have talked about color grading, white balance and saturation in previous segment. Things are almost the same in portrait mode. But there are a few differences. Samsung has increased saturation, X Note has gone for cold color temperature. Vivo X Note has reproduced photos with a bit over processing, skin fairness and aggressive beauty effect. However, bokeh effect or f-point is pretty much amazing. I like this creamy bokeh effect. In general, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has better edge detection, faster focus metering, better exposure, and obviously got way more detail on the subject. But I cannot vouch for S22 Ultra as much as I would like to, cause it has failed to maintain correct ratio between brightness and contrast. Also, in some very harsh lighting condition, Samsung has failed to maintain its exposure, while Zeiss T-star-coated lens of X Note has played a better role. I have access to a lot of flagship smartphones, and after taking portrait photos with all of the smartphones, I have no problem saying S22 Ultra 3x zoom portraits are one of the best among all the smartphones available in the market. However, Vivo X Note has almost beaten this S22 Ultra. Only if it could grab a bit more detail and stop adding skin fairness, then Vivo X Note would win by a mile.
But I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness.
Vivo smartphones are not renowned for very good selfie performance. Vivo has never had natural true-to-life selfie performance in their priority list. Galaxy S22 Ultra comes with a bigger and better selfie sensor. You may have already noticed there is natural bokeh in the background. Vivo X Note selfie photos adds heavy beauty effect. Skin smoothing, skin fairness, overexposure are the common issues in most of the Vivo smartphones. It doesn't matter whether you are gonna take a selfie photo or a selfie portrait. Vivo got their extreme beauty effect ready for you. You are gonna look so different than who you are in reality. S22 Ultra with better detail on the subject, better color tone, better skin tone and wider dynamic range has reproduced amazing selfie photos. But there is one thing I don't like. In selfie portrait, Samsung has added way too heavy bokeh effect. Rather, Vivo bokeh effect looks much more natural. In terms of edge detection and edge cutouts, Vivo has done better. I am surprised. Anyway, after doing a lot of nitpicking, I have noticed Samsung selfie portraits are way too soft and Vivo has managed to process textures with sharpness.
Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic.
Time for low light photos, time to check DENS. If you are subscribed to this channel, then you may know about this. In low light photos, we check detail, exposure, noise and shadow. Anyway, these photos are taken in night mode, but before this, I have taken a set of photos in auto mode. Do you find any differences? Well, I have waited in the same place for 8 hours from dusk to midnight. I have grabbed more than 100 photos, and after checking all the photos, I have noticed Vivo X Note has an issue in its night mode algorithm. Yeah, after heavily cropped in, you can clearly see that Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has grabbed more detail, textures are sharper and there are more definition, while Vivo X Note has failed to process textures with clarity and everything looks a bit blurry. It may not be visible on your smartphone display, but once we punch in and do some pixel peeping, we can see there is a huge difference in performance. Moreover, like many other Vivo smartphones, Vivo X Note has this crazy warm tone and sometimes fails to brighten up the images as it fails to maintain a correct ratio between brightness and contrast. This Vivo X Note isn't a direct successor of that Vivo X70 Pro Plus, so we cannot expect a lot from this one. Anyway, we cannot complain about noise and shadow cause both have done similarly well, but Vivo has continuously kept failing beside this Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra until I have disabled night mode and started taking photos in auto mode.
They hype me, the following grows, they know how to ignite me.
In some crazy and harsh lighting conditions, Vivo has managed to have very good exposure, but it continued to have poor detail along with soft textures, which has ruined the total image. And in some occasions, when I have tried to take low light photos in auto mode, it has even failed to have correct exposure. Samsung may have sometimes increased its contrast and saturation, but you may have noticed through the video, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has always got more detail, better shadow and sharper textures. I am a bit frustrated with this Vivo X Note. I think Vivo is keeping their best for that Vivo X80 Pro Plus, and X Note may not get any better result through updates cause this is not the top flagship in Vivo's X lineup. If you are still wondering which one is the winner of low light photography, okay, it's Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra without any hesitation.
I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go.
These video clips were recorded in 4K 30 frames per second. I have tried to record in 8K, but truly in low light, 8K performance isn't something that you would like to try, especially if you are recording and walking. Better nighttime video is another thing that I am missing out on Vivo X Note. I'm not saying that Vivo X Note nighttime video is terrible or anything, but if you take a close look at the trees and the lighting, the detail level is much better on Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. However, when I have walked into harsh lighting condition and more complicated scenario like this, things got worse on S22 Ultra, and Vivo with Zeiss T-Star coated lens has got a better result. Time for ultra-wide photos. A weaker Sony IMX563 12MP sensor on Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and a flagship class Sony IMX598 48MP sensor on Vivo X Note. I am surprised to see Vivo has removed that gimbal stabilization from both the X Note and X Fold. Vivo X70 Pro Plus had that, and Vivo X80 Pro Plus also gonna have that. In between, they have removed that gimbal stabilization from X Note and X Fold. Okay, I have taken the photos in different days and in different times of the day. Color grading, white balance and tonal contrast, everything is different. If you can leave these preferential things behind, if we check detail, textures, shadow and dynamic range, then it will be very difficult to select a winner. Samsung photos are more vibrant and social media ready, while Vivo produced true-to-life photos with almost perfect colors and white balance. Vivo, in partnership with Zeiss, have already optimized its lens and algorithm. In harsh lighting conditions, it performs like a monster. Better exposure, wider dynamic range and more detail in the shadow. Altogether, I prefer ultra-wide performance of this Vivo X Note, but if you prefer AI-optimized, eye-pleasing photos, then you can definitely go with Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. These days, pretty much all flagships can take great pictures in daylight. All of these shots that you are seeing are taken in auto mode to make things fair with the scene optimization and AI mode turned off. Both of these two smartphones have Pro modes, so if you have the time to adjust and get that perfect shot of your choice, you definitely can. Dynamic range is great on both, but certainly Samsung with stylistic rendition of colors and heavy synthetic processing have pre-produced eye-pleasing vibrant photos, while Vivo has kept things very close to natural. On top of this, there are some differences in white balance which you will notice throughout the video. You will also find that both of these two smartphones have a big difference in processing. A lot of things are going to be personal preference. The colors of the structures and the sky is truly different between them. The level of ambience and vibrance is also different. But if we check detail, sharpness, shadow and exposure, I don't think anyone would really complain about the image quality on any of these cameras, cause both have some advantages and disadvantages. Vivo with Zeiss T-Star coated lens have managed to evade lens flare and in harsh lighting condition has performed better. That doesn't mean Vivo X Note has very good exposure. Under standard lighting conditions, S22 Ultra has done well, but Vivo has processed textures with sharpness, Samsung has slightly better processed shadow, faster autofocus and better contrast. Most of the time you will find it very difficult to rule one better than other cause you will need to do heavy pixel peeping, things gets down to nitpicking, and considering personal preferences, yeah, it will be very difficult. After heavily cropping in, it's noticeable that Vivo has processed with more definition and it looks more refined, but only a few people would do pixel peeping and most of the people would go with Samsung. But as I prefer to have more detail and definition, I prefer Vivo X Note daytime photos. Vivo X Note got a 2x telephoto lens. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra uses its main sensor to produce 2x zoom photos. Let's check a set of 3x zoom photos. At a glance, it's very difficult to differentiate, but once we heavily punch in, the differences gets visible. Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra with better optimization and processing has more detail with better definition, as Vivo X Note had to add digital zoom on top of its 2x optical. It has failed beside S22 Ultra. Time for 5x zoom photos, and in many of my Vivo X70 Pro Plus videos, I have clearly expressed my disappointment about that 8 megapixel sensor, which is the same here in Vivo X Note. I don't know why this X Note had to get this poor sensor, cause Vivo X80 Pro Plus is gonna get a better 50 megapixel sensor for its periscope lens. Even if Samsung had to add digital cropping on top of its 3x optical zoom, Galaxy S22 Ultra has more detail and sharper textures. This set of photos are taken at 10x zoom, as Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra got a dedicated sensor tagged to a 10x zoom periscope lens. It has not only done better, the differences are like day and night. Let me crop in, you can check by yourself. Okay, I have tried to take 10x zoom photos with tripods. I'm not surprised to see that Vivo X Note has done better with a tripod than when in handheld mode, but it is still inferior to Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is the toughest segment of this comparison. Usually flagship class Vivo smartphones with Zeiss T-Star coated lens and optimized algorithm performs better than any other flagship smartphones. Last year, Vivo X70 Pro Plus has done better than Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, but this year, maybe we need to wait for Vivo X80 Pro Plus, cause Vivo X Note and Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra has fought neck and neck. As usual, there are some preferential differences. Vivo has warmer tone and a bit saturation. Other than that, everything is almost the same. If you check detail, shadow, exposure and dynamic range, then it is really a very difficult task to select a winner. Kudos to Samsung, they really have managed to optimize and squeeze the best out of this HM3 sensor, while Vivo may have kept things similar to that Vivo X70 Pro Plus algorithm. These are 4K 60 frames per second video clips. I like the video on both of these two smartphones. Both reproduced nice, vibrant video clips with a lot of detail and crisp textures, but there are some subtle differences. Stabilization when moving or walking is pretty similar on both the Vivo X Note and the Galaxy S22 Ultra, but I think the S22 Ultra might be slightly smoother. I need to mention that Vivo X Note has that awesome super steady mode to keep things very stable in 1080p. Also, it has that amazing motion autofocus, and if you are doing a lot of action shots, Vivo X Note is a better choice, while Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is a bit better for landscape and natural videography. Anyway, we are approaching the end of the video and I don't think I have to give a verdict. I think Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra is still a better choice for photography and videography. What's your verdict? Please don't forget to write a comment and share your thoughts and ideas in the comment section. If you have liked this video, then please don't forget to click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, support true content.